Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to A Little Bit of Magic with me, Emma's Pixie Dust. And I have a very special guest with me tonight. But before I introduce you to her, I just want to say, may the 4th be with you and always with you. I just wanted to get that in because it is a special day today. As you all know, it's Star Wars Day. How exciting. So, literally, you've got a couple of memes for May. May the 4th be with you. And it's going to be May from Justin Timberlake. I just thought I'd add that in at the same time because I find it funny. So yeah. Okay, so I'm going to throw something different in today as well. There's going to be some weekly news, Disney news, that I'm going to throw in between this chat, and then we'll have a discussion either in the chat with you guys or with my guest today. So we'll see how that turns out. You have to let me know in the comments. With my guest today, I'd love to know any questions that you have for her, so please just drop them in the comments as well. We'll have our little quiz that we usually do, and we'll see if the chat wins or if our guest wins. So without further ado, let me introduce to you one of my favorite Disney bounders, that is a hint, of the whole community in England, shall I say, of the Disney bound community. I've met her once in person. She's such a lovely character, and she really loves this famous guy. I don't really know much about him, so maybe she can tell us more about him. Let me introduce you from socials. Her name is GreenUnicornPoop, and it is Lou. Welcome to the stream.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? Oh, internet connection is
There
dodgy.
we go.
There we go. How are you?
Yeah, there we're back. Yeah, I am good, thank you. Yes, you?
Yeah, I'm good. Are you excited to be on today, or are you a bit nervous?
A bit of both.
Yeah.
I've never done anything like this before, so we're jumping in.
Well, I'm glad that you're jumping in with me. I would love
Yeah.
you to get to know people in the community, and obviously people in the chat to get to know you as well. So do you want to introduce yourself and your channel or social media?
Yeah, so I'm Lou. I'm a Disney bounder. I've been Disney bounding since for 9 years now, 9-10 years. And that's sort of like I introduced in oh god, get my words out. Introduction to like the Disney community, definitely on Instagram side. So I have my Instagram channel where I post any bounds, whether they be on the park, at home, going to the cinema, whatever, and anything else cool I get up to. And then I have a TikTok as well where I do daily vlogs about my trips to Disney. I have been an annual pass holder for 9 years now for Disneyland Paris. So I post all my trips on there.
Brilliant. And is your social name the same for Instagram and TikTok?
It is. It's GreenUnicornPoop on TikTok and Instagram. Yes.
Brilliant. First of all, why did you choose that name?
I actually don't know. I think I played around with Banana Vampire Cake back in the day when I was a big Vampire Diaries Twilight fan. Banana Cake was a nickname that I had from some of my convention friends, and it's always just been a play on that. And then just one day it was like, actually, no, I don't like bananas, whatever. And I was like, okay, unicorn poop, don't know why. And then I was like, Peter Pan's green. Peter Pan's one of my favorite Disney characters, so
Yeah,
it happened. I have tried to venture away from that name many a time, but I just come back to it. I feel like it is me now.
brilliant.
I've tried other names, and it's just it's not Disney. It's a mixture of everything that I like. So
Well, that's the best thing to have then, isn't it,
yeah,
really?
exactly.
Yeah, and it's your little niche, shall we say?
Yeah, exactly.
So you were saying that you do daily vlogs on TikTok.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about coming to YouTube?
I have.
Okay.
I am planning. I have a trip down to London this month for the Disney Friendship installation. I forgot what it's called for the 100th anniversary, and I am going to dip my toe into YouTube. I'm going to take my camera with me, and I wasn't going to tell anybody I was going to do it, because then if I don't do it, no one to disappoint. But now I've said it, so I have to do it. So we're going to try at the end of the month. So
That'd be
fingers
brilliant.
crossed. Yeah,
And is your YouTube name going to be the same, do you think?
it will be, yes.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I like it. So we already have a question for you.
Okay.
What is Lou's favourite bound?
Ooh. Oh, that's... You know what? It's going to be, at the moment anyway, my aerial bound I did at Disney World last year. It got so many compliments. I had kids looking, because my hair is normally red, and it was a lot brighter when I went, and there
Yeah,
was kids being like, oh, and like grandparents going, have you I mean, this is the full point, is that people aren't supposed to think you're the characters. This is Disney bounding. But grandparents were going, oh, have you seen? It's Ariel. And it's like, that, as much as that's not what we want, it was just so nice to see these kids' faces like go, oh, like, yeah, I don't know. It was just, and it got so much love from everybody in the parks as well. And that's sort of what I like about it. It makes your experiences with characters, with cast members, with other guests. It makes your experience that much more better by people recognizing and going, I know who you're trying to Disney bound as.
yeah,
And with my aerial one, it was sort of cheating because of my hair. And I think that sort of ties everything in, whereas other ones don't do as well. But that one, it was just such a perfect first day of a trip, and and just the love it got. So yeah,
yeah.
the aerial one.
So I could see your happiness from just those reactions that you're sharing with us. Would you ever consider being doing an audition to be a character in a Disney park?
I would love to. I You don't understand how many times I've booked a train to go to Leeds to audition. Leeds is my closest place that normally does an audition, and I've just not gone because of various reasons.
Okay.
But normally I wake up and I'm like, I'm not going to get anywhere. Like, I'm not a dancer. I'm not. I'm not an Ariel. I'm not a princess. I would love to be Eeyore on parade. Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
that would be my dream. But yeah, it's just, I've done it that many times, and I mean, I've just turned 27, which isn't. It's. I'm not saying that don't go for your dreams after that age, but I don't. I go, well, there's much younger, much fitter, much more talented people going there. And I think there's a lot of self-doubt there that's just stopping me.
Well, you need to work on that, and
I
obviously, and
know.
you're still a baby. Compared to me, you're still a baby. So age is just a number as well.
It
If you
is,
really
yeah.
want to do it, then just go for it. You don't know until you try.
No, no. Like I say, I would love to. And I think if the timing's right on auditions going forward, I may try it. But yeah, it's just getting there to think, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll try and build up the confidence between me and you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have another question for you already,
Okay.
and it's by Nick Goes Traveling, and she wants to know, what is your favorite DLP attraction?
I don't like favorite questions because I'm so indecisive, and I'm like, I could name 10, and that's like half the park. Um,
Okay, go for top three then.
oh, okay. Pirates of the Caribbean is, anybody who knows me knows that is my favorite attraction. Like, as in a storybook attraction, we're gonna say. Okay. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna hate myself later when I say these are my top three. So we're gonna go for Pirates of the Caribbean, Flight Force, and Crush's Coaster.
Wow. Okay, that's quite different to what loads of people say. And why would you say Flight Force and Crush's Coaster?
I think because they're Paris, because they are unique. they're our rides. Nobody's taking them. Like, we've got, like, nowhere else has Crush's Coaster or Flight Force. And as much as they break down like no one's business, they're like, there's just something about both of them. I never did Aerosmith before I turned into Flight Force.
Okay.
So Flight Force is my only recollection of like that rad.
Yeah.
So yeah, because they are our rads. Like, nobody else is like doing a knockoff of them like Ratatouille.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they're just fun. They are fun.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I've only been on crushes once because I get motion sickness with that. It's
Oh,
crazy motion sickness. Do you think though that the wait time is worth the ride?
see, I have the DAS card for Paris, so I thank thankfully or not thankfully, because obviously the reason I need it, but so I can't really say. Does that make sense? Like, I I don't know how I'd feel if I had to wait an hour to get on these rides
Yeah.
instead of however long it takes with the things they put in place for us.
Yeah.
So to me, yes, they are. But again, if I had to wait an hour or longer, then I don't know how I'd feel.
Yeah. So, for people who don't know, the DAS pass is actually the Walt Disney World version, and it's just priority card for
But
Paris. But it's
yeah, yeah,
basically it helps people with physical or mental I don't want to disabilities. I don't know if people agree with that word, and hidden disabilities as well. And it's very useful. And there's different color codes. So, how do you think the scheme works with the different color codes? Did you have it when it was originally just the green card, or what do you think the difference is now? Are you happy with the differences if you've ever had to experience it? If that makes
I
sense.
I can't say that there's any difference between the two because I had it back when it was like the green piece of paper.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's a lot. I, they ask for a lot more documentation now.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, you could go with your NHS letter saying you've got XYZ.
Yeah.
And that was, whereas now they're like, we won't accept an NHS letter, which I find quite strange.
Yeah.
I get why, but I can't say I haven't seen a massive difference between the two other than what documentation you need to get it. Whereas like in Florida, as you know, you just go on a video chat and you go, okay, so I need help with this. And they're like,
Yeah.
sure, like they don't need anything. And
Yeah.
I don't, did you go to Universal?
No, I didn't. It was a hurricane during that time.
Oh, Universal have a completely different system where they're like,
Okay.
no, you don't need help.
Really?
Basically, yeah. I
Okay.
found Universal's version very different to this Disney World's. So, like in that aspect as well, it's just yeah. Sorry, I've gone off completely
No,
off
that's
topic
absolutely
there.
fine.
But yeah, going back to your original question, no, I've not seen a difference myself.
Okay.
I've had it because I didn't realize I could get it until maybe 2 or 3 years into having an annual pass.
Yeah.
So again, I've gone from queuing for everything to having that help in place if needed.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you know Amy. I think you do. And she says,
yes, I
you don't
do.
need help. Take a lunch into the line with you.
Yeah, that's basically what they told us at Universal. Amy is who I went to Disney World with. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. That
so
is that
that's
is
what they said
extreme.
when I asked, and there was like, just take it in with you, and it's like there, I don't when you queue for one of the Harry Potter rides, I think it was Hagrid's Adventure or something, I'm not too sure. It says on the signage, no snacks allowed, no drinks allowed. And it's like,
Yeah. Contradictory. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, just, but yeah, theirs is the, I would not recommend their system whatsoever. So Paris is great.
Yeah.
uh,
360-minute wait. Is
yeah,
that Harry
that's a,
Potter as well?
yeah,
Wow. Okay, that is a long wait.
yeah.
So compared to where you have Walt Disney World and you have Disneyland Paris, what do you prefer, the DAS pass or the priority card? What do you think works better?
The, the I'm trying to wear. So the DAS pass
Yeah,
with the being able to get on a ride, go on your phone, like that was so much easier
yeah,
in some aspects, because you're like, okay, well, I'm feeling up for this now, then, and I don't know, it just, that seemed to work a lot better because it was all on your phone. You didn't have to be in your bag every 5 minutes getting this card out to,
yeah,
um but I also understand people's worries with the DAS pass of it being abused
yeah,
because of that they don't ask for anything. It is
yeah,
literally just, it, it's great because you don't have to explain yourself for once, and definitely with somebody with a hidden disability, it's it's nice. I did the video chat before we went to Florida, and the woman I spoke to was so nice, and I was like, I don't, I'd like being really nervous about it, and she's like, don't worry, like we can get you sorted, like you're not taking advantage of anything, like you need help. So, and it's
yeah,
that is so nice to have, because as I say, with somebody with a hidden disability, you spend so much of your time sort of like being told that you're not disabled, like you don't have anything wrong with you, just get on with it, that sort of jazz.
yeah,
And to have somebody there going, it's fine, like we've got you, and definitely
yeah,
somewhere that holds so much joy for you with Disney, it's yeah.
yeah. Cool. Awesome. I'm glad that you shared this because there's quite a lot of people talking about it in the chat as well.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
good that I was
Yeah.
not going to talk about any of that. So the fact that
Oh,
we brought it
sorry.
up naturally, no, don't need to apologize. It's really good. I like these sort of conversations that just
Mm,
go on a tangent because you never know how helpful it might be to someone who's watching. So
yeah.
thank you. My cat is now deciding to sit on the notepad that I was going to talk to you about. Come on, off you get. Off you get. Okay, right. So back to what I was going to talk to you about originally, and
Yeah.
it's Disney bounding. So you said you started 9 years ago. Did you know about Disney bounding then, or was it just something that you did and then discovered after?
um no, it was let's get our words out. So the year prior to me like actually actively Disney bounding, I started looking into Disneyland Paris. Like a few of my friends were going, and it was like this thing of, oh, like I went once as a child, and that, like, it was like, oh yeah, been done. And then like a few of my friends were starting to go and talk about it, and I'm like, oh. And then through that and through looking, sort of like looking into Disneyland Paris and Disneyland Resort, I sort of stumbled across it, and then figured out, saw some of my friends who was also visiting the park starting to bound, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. And there was a thing called Polyvore, if you remember it. It was
No.
a thing online where you could create an outfit from
Okay.
different clothing. So spent a few nights doing that, and then um, sort of like it just tumbleweeded from there. I think I went to see Frozen in the January, and that
Yeah.
was my first ever bound. It was like a pair of blue jeans, a blue zip-up jumper, white t-shirt, and I did sparkly blue nails for Elsa. It
Yeah.
was so basic. I didn't even get a photo of it. But then I had my first trip back to Disneyland Paris for my 18th birthday, and I was like, okay, we're bounding. And that was sort of it. After spending that time on park, and then in my first two bounds was Peter Pan and Ariel, and sort of again getting the reaction from characters and cast members, and it was like, okay, I like this. So when I started going more regularly, that same December I went back and got my first annual pass.
Yeah.
It just sort of went from there, and only in the past few years, really, since lockdown, have I started bounding at home and other places other than the park.
Yeah. Cool. And I've got a book, you probably have it yourself, by Leslie Kay
Yeah.
about Disney bounding. So she has said, I've got a quote here, that Disney bound is very different than cosplay, which is where people wear full on costumes. So obviously, cosplay is
Yeah.
that, and in Disney bound, it's just creating the look of a character. Disney bounding is wearing everyday outfits that express your inner style, and it could be worn on a daily basis that is inspired by Disney. So, do you feel that you have your style within Disney bound, or you've grown to realize what your style is through Disney bounding?
I think it's helped me explore my style.
Okay.
Because when I first started, it was a lot of jeans and jumpers. My wardrobe was mainly black, so anything that I wanted to bound, I had to buy for.
Yeah.
And then it sort of, for a few years, my style was very 50s with all of my Disney bounds,
Yeah.
whereas I sort of went through that and came out the other side of going, actually, I'm more this. And I think it definitely helps me explore that.
Yeah.
Um, because I'll go, oh, I could do this. And it it's made me a lot more friendlier with my fashion sense and my general style, I think.
Okay.
Because I've gone from buying pieces just for bounds to actually, yes, I bought this, but I can wear this on an everyday basis, or this style really suits me because of X, Y, and Z, and I'll go and buy more of this in future. That
Yeah.
sort of, yeah.
Okay. So you're saying about using pieces that you might buy and then using it for everyday things. Are there certain characters that you still feel like actually I can tweak it a bit more and buy something new again for that character?
So adding onto an outfit, like, um, oh yeah, like the amount of things that I've got that I'll buy one thing and I'll go, okay, if I've got this, it'll work for this character, and if I buy this, it'll work for this character, and
Yeah.
like it, yeah, because you can do so many bounds with
Yeah.
one pieces with one piece. Um, if you if you think about it, I'm trying to think of an example because I'm the worst for buying just new stuff
So am
because I
I. Yeah.
can. So, but yeah, like let's say you've got a green dress.
Yeah.
A green dress would work for Tiana. It would work for Peter Pan. It would work for any green character you can think of if you just change pieces out. And it's that sort of, yeah, like at the moment I'm trying to be a bit more savvy with how I do my bounds because
Okay.
it does it it can bring like with it a lot of buy-in. There's the Disney Bound Challenge, which happens every March, which is put
Yeah.
on by Leslie Kay, the Disney Bound, and the first few years, I was either buying completely new or I was buying a lot of pieces new. Whereas this year that I've just completed, it's the first year I've done all 31 days as well.
Okay.
Um, Nothing was bought new, and I
Cool.
think that, and that's just me being a bit more thoughtful with what I'm buying and what I'm doing. Whereas
Yeah.
there was a time where I'd go, okay, I want to do this character, this character, this character, buy all the things.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay, you've got this in your cupboard. You can repurpose that dress to be a skirt or a top. And it's, yeah.
Is it difficult to do that? Do you find for going from one extreme to the next?
It was when I was trying to change my mindset. Like when I was trying to go, okay, no, you don't need to buy this because you have this as like, it might not be how you've imagined it, but you can make it into how you imagined it. Whereas it gets easier the more you do it.
Yeah. Cool. So let me have a quick look in the chat. So your friend was saying that, I don't even know if it's spelled. Yeah, Polyvore was my life and made outfits I would never afford. Did you do that too?
Yes. Oh, it was all designer stuff on there. Like you'd be like putting a Gucci bag and Gucci trousers, and it's like, I don't have money for this, but it looks cool.
And Nick Goes Traveling has done Shelley May as a bound. So I want to know,
yes.
what is the most unique character you have bounded as?
Ooh. This year for the challenge, I'm trying to think of his name. Kirby from Chicken Little, the little
Okay.
orange monster.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably would have to, because I've also done Shelley May. Shelley May is a fun one.
Okay.
And Tokyo have so many accessories. It makes it easier
Yeah.
with the ears and stuff. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Kirby from Chicken Little.
Awesome. And just to let you know that the Free Mousekeys, who's one of our mods, so hey, Free Mousekeys, they oh my gosh, my head is gone. Andy from the Free Mousekeys bounded as Gaston. So
Oh, that's cool.
who is there someone that inspires you to Disney bound that you've seen before?
Oh. As in like other people on Instagram,
On social,
like
yeah, on socials
socials.
and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
I think I have a lot of friendships in Disney Bound, which inspires me. So we've got our Disney Bound UK, which I'm one of the admins for. So we've got all of our girls, and we're all like, that sort of eggs me on. And like, if definitely when you're doing ones at home and it's like I've had a really tiring day, do I really want to dress up? And it's like, you know what, no, I do, because like, yeah. So all of the Disney Bound UK girls are, yeah, we're
Your little community.
a
And
little community there.
it's growing as well, isn't it? So I met you in one of the Disney Bound picnics that was like, what, 2-3 years ago now,
Yeah,
and the community must have got bigger and bigger since then. I've seen it grow anyway, and I've not even met up with you guys since, but the fact that it's
yeah.
talking about maybe 2 meetings this year, that's quite exciting.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Disney Bound as a whole has just grown anyway. Like it's you can see from like the first challenges on during lockdowns that
Yeah,
till this year it has grown massively in that point. And that's just the community on Instagram. There's people who do it and don't post on Instagram. They do it just for the joy. Like, I mean, we all do it for the joy, but I mean that they don't post it on Instagram afterwards. So
yeah,
you've all the socials, or you've got people who do it just in their own life, who don't do socials that you don't know about. And it's that thing of,
yeah,
it has grown so much. And yeah, you can see it's growing. And it's so great because there's just so much creativity. There's so many
yeah,
bounds that I look at and I'm like, you know what, I wouldn't have thought to do that, or that looks
yeah.
really good on them. And it just, yeah, I think that's
It inspires you.
yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so back to that quote. I
Yeah.
want to know, do you do Disney bounding every day, even if you're not on socials?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no. I would say I do. However, they are basic. Like you'd have to be like, okay, like yesterday, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and
Yeah.
my full plan was to Disney bound. And it didn't happen because I'd thrown the t-shirts away that I thought I had. But like I was gonna do that for work, and I do I do just do bounds for work if it's a special day. So like today I would normally have done a Star Wars bound because it's May the 4th. Halloween, I do something a bit more spooky. I am that person in the office that comes a bit OTT. I had a little witch's hat on last year. So
That's
yeah, it's
brilliant.
not all just for the gram. So yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And before we move on to something that links to what
Yeah.
you were saying, I just want to check. Oh, you've already answered that question anyway. I was going to ask you, do you get new clothes? But we've already gone through that
Yeah.
anyway. So, linking on to Guardians of the Galaxy, this is my new segment that I'm going to go through, and it's like the latest Disney news. So, I hope it goes okay with people in the chat as well. So, obviously, it is the release of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 at the moment. And so DLP are announcing some new things to celebrate. So we're going to have another dance off segment that's going to be happening in the studio. Some people who don't know about that, it's quite exciting. And they're now going to be meeting guests face to face as well and welcoming them like Mickey and Minnie do, but on the Quinjet at the top, the Quinjet platform. So they'll be doing that.
Oh.
There are new snacks coming to Walt Disney Studios Park because of the Guardians of the Galaxy release. So there's going to be Flora Colossal Biscuits, and there's going to be Choco Orbs. I don't know what on earth any of this means, but I have shared pictures with you guys on Instagram, so go and check that out. And there's also a Flora Colossus mocktail and cocktail that you can also get at Hotel New York for anyone who's going there at the moment. And there is currently going to be some artwork, cosmic artwork they call it, in the Jack Legacy Gallery at Hotel New York. So that'll be something interesting. Are you going there recently at all, or like you've got any trips coming up?
My next trip is start of June, so I'm hoping they're sticking around till then. I think we're first weekend of June. We're over there.
Okay, hopefully it will stick around.
Yeah, I
think your cocktails.
Yeah, I do have a Star-Lord Disney bound planned.
Okay.
So we're hoping.
Well, the newly themed dance off is definitely going to be happening, and they're even going to have Star-Lord doing a dance off in the Hotel New York lobby now as well, not just in the Studios Park. So that's something new as well. They've got collectible cards at the moment that's going around, and there's new magic shocks that you can get, which unfortunately you won't be able to get yourself because it only runs until 21st of May. But that's going to be with Rocket. Do you have any magic shots that you've liked doing in the past before we carry on with the news?
Oh, I can't think. Oh, we did the Stitch one at Halloween.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever managed to do with Paris. I find it so hard to get. Oh, we did the Turning Red in the studios with the Errors of Panda. And me and Amy did that, and that photo was just quite, I like that one. we're both like there acting scared. I don't think either of us have seen Turning Red at this point. So.
I love how, like they say, look up, and then you're looking up, and then it turns out where you're meant to be looking. It's like completely different. Yeah, those are funny ones. Just a little tip for anyone who's listening and for yourself in the future. Quite a lot of magic shot photos in the main Disneyland park are in front of Plaza Gardens and opposite Skull Rock, just so you know, where they meet Peter Pan. So little tip for you. And I said about collectible cards. Okay, so another piece of information that was literally just announced yesterday is that Disney have partnered with the Outdoor Voices, which is like an athletic clothing company, and they're releasing a new range, should I say, of Mickey and Co. friends activity wear. I need to learn to speak. I think it's because I'm nervous. So prices start at $78. So I don't know what that is in UK money. And that's basically for some shorts or sports bra. Now, would you go and pay that much just to have Mickey Mouse on a sports bra or shorts?
Oh no, I'm not even gonna think about that. Like,
No,
yeah,
it's quite a lot. And then on for leggings with Goofy, guess how much that might cost? Just
I'm
leggings with Goofy on.
I'm gonna go for like 120.
$148 just for leggings with Goofy on.
Yeah,
So you're paying for the brand twice because you've got the active outwear voices and you've got Disney, just
yeah,
so you know. For anyone who's listening from America, basically at the moment, annual pass people can get extra bonus days added on for Epcot and Animal Kingdom. And those days are going to be Tuesdays and Wednesdays through the 9th of May to the 24th of May. And they do not count towards the allocated number of reservations that you're allowed with your annual pass. And DLP, as we know is Disneyland Paris, has finally started to plant some of their trees for Arendelle, which is really exciting. So the trees are going to be conifer trees, which are based around sequoia trees, and they're going to be 22 feet high, which is going to be very tall. So how on earth they're going to manage to get all of those in time for next year, I have no idea. And there's going to be more than 1,000 that's going to be there. So Arendelle is going to look pretty awesome. And today, which is the day of May the 4th be with you, there has been a release of a limited edition lightsaber, and it's a Cal Kestis Legacy lightsaber. Do you know anything about that character or show? No,
I
I personally don't.
I know it's a game, and I know that the new game has just come out because
Yeah,
it was Avatar's Star Wars Celebration. But
yeah.
I think when the first photos came out, I thought it was Wally on his back, and like that makes me the worst Star Wars fan. But
Yeah, I don't even know how to say it. So at least you know what I'm talking about. I must have said something correct. And basically, it's been launched globally. So on Shop Disney and Shop Disney UK, you can go and get them. And it's from the game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So I don't know if
that's it.
that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And only 7,500 are being made with all unique numbers and certificates. And it comes in a personalized wooden box for each lightsaber. And you can get different I don't know what they're called, lights, I guess, you know, the long things that light up,
Oh,
lights.
yeah.
They've got
There's
a
a
certain
word
name,
for him.
haven't they? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can get a special edition one of them where you can change by one button. It can go to blue, green, purple, yellow, white or red. So
Oh.
yeah, and a brand new sequel to the game has been released today as well. So that is the news. So that was a bit scary for me to do. I don't know if it works.
Oh.
Chat, let me know if it worked. Please let me know because I panicked. Okay, let's go back to this. So, what is your favorite thing to Disney Bound as? Be it a character, a ride, or a movie?
I find characters easier. So
Okay,
it's normally a character, and I have done so many interpretations of Ariel. I think she's like my go-to, like in most
yeah,
cases. So yeah, I'd say Ariel or one of the Peter Pan characters. Yeah.
they're your go-to ones.
Yeah, normally it's, but with Avengers Campus opening at Paris, I am finding myself doing a lot more Marvel bounds than I've ever done.
Okay, yeah,
Um, so Captain America is one I've done probably raveling on the same as Ariel.
yeah.
So yeah.
And you got the same jacket I've got actually. The Captain Marvel one, isn't it? Captain Marvel jacket. Yeah,
Miss Marvel
Miss
one,
Marvel.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you wearing it. I was like, oh, I should have worn mine. It's huge on me now, so I don't think I'll be wearing it.
Oh,
Maybe sell it off. I don't know.
yeah.
So if you were to do a ride or a movie, which one would you focus on?
Oh, Rad, probably Pirates. I have done a Pirates of the Caribbean bound before, but so it's yeah, and film. Film
Yep.
is such a hard one. Probably Avatar, because I feel like Avatar it's easier to bound as a full film than a character.
Okay, that's interesting. So what would you go for the Avatar bound?
you know what? I found this perfect blue play suit in Matalan a few weeks ago, and it
Okay,
sort of was blue with like the darker blue markings on it. So like a
it is perfect.
is it? Yeah, it's like for a
Yeah,
Navi or, and then like then you've got the ears you can buy from Animal Kingdom, and
yeah,
like a sort of um I'm trying to think of the material, like a bag that's not wood, but like bamboo.
yeah.
You
I don't know the
know
material,
what
but
I
I
mean.
know what you
But
mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
so that sort of thing with like a pair of similar flip flops. I think that would be maybe a few like flower accessories going on. But yeah,
yeah. Cool. And what do you think is the most hardest thing to maybe Disney bound ads? You might not have even have to done it yet, but when you think of what is the hardest Disney bound, what comes to mind?
there is
I
one.
think
There
I
is
was going to
one. It's
say
like,
I think you find it harder because you're so creative. So, but yeah, carry on.
oh, no, because I you know what I'm doing? I'm looking around my bedroom at like all the different characters, and I'm going, who would be hard to Disney bound as? And it's just not really. I think the hardest characters to Disney bound as are
Yeah.
lesser known characters. If
Okay.
you want to get that sort of like people going, you're Disney bounding as,
Hmm.
that's the hardest character to Disney bound as, because if they're not that well known, whereas like doing somebody like Ariel or a princess or um Mickey, the Fab Five, like everyone
Yeah.
knows who they are. Whereas if I said to you, okay, I'm gonna Disney Bounders Flick from The Bug's Life,
Yeah.
that's gonna have less people on the same wavelength. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think lesser known characters. Yeah, that one.
Do you find that upsetting that it would be more difficult to do lesser known characters?
And no, because like the enjoyment comes from wearing it and going, okay, yes, and maybe meeting characters. Like for me, going to the park, if I'm gonna Disney bound as a character, it's because there's either characters meeting that are from that franchise, or there's areas to get photos. Like that's my sort of like, okay, I am going to immerse myself in this character because we've got this, we've got that, we've got the other. If I'm doing it at home, it's purely for my enjoyment. So
Yeah.
I don't find it hard, like per se of, okay, well nobody's going to recognize who I am, so what's the point?
Yeah.
But it's just, I think it's harder from the thing of how do you make it more noticeable, and somebody walking next to me isn't going to think, okay, she's just wearing, that's normal.
Yeah.
That sort of contradicts itself. But do you get? I hope that makes sense.
I think it does make sense. Yeah. Just to let you know that Nick Goes Traveling is saying is the word we're looking for woven when it comes to the bag.
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Woven. Yeah.
There you go. Okay, right. Let's go on. Uh, have you ever been to a event at a park and bounded?
Oh no, no, I haven't. Not yet. Um, I went to the annual pass party, the last one that they had at Paris, and I did have intentions to bound as Lotso Hugs from Toy Story.
Yeah.
Um, because I don't know if you've seen it on Park, but there's a big pink fluffy jumper.
I know. I saw it. I want it.
I bought it, but the night after, and I had all intentions of buying it that night so I could walk around in it, and for various reasons, I didn't get it, and yeah, so I had intentions of doing it, but I just never got there. So
Yeah. Cool. That is so warm as well. I saw it. I was like, I want it so much. But then I just lived in it the whole of my trip. So
yeah,
yes, I'm glad I didn't.
I've
Top
just
on.
had I've just had a message through telling me that Dapper Day is an event. So yes, I have Disney bounded.
Ah, okay. Go on then. Tell us more about that.
uh, Dapper Day is no longer a thing at Paris now after
Okay.
this event. They're not bringing it to the parks anymore, but this Dapper Day is basically dressing up in your finery for a day at the park.
Okay.
50s 60s decade. So I a few years ago I did Jane from Tarzan in a 50s yellow dress with
Oh
like a
wow.
purple headscarf, brown shoes, and I'm trying to think what else. I had a few other bits going on, but yeah. So
Yeah.
I have Disney bounded as an event. Sorry, I just
So is Disney Bound and Dapper Day like the same thing? Was it like
no.
no, it's not classed
The
as the same.
I don't think Dapper Day like being associated with Disney bounders. However, it is a big day for Disney bounders at Paris, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, I I can't remember the last time I went to. I've done a few, but I can't remember the
Okay.
last time I went to one. But it is a big thing at Paris for people to Disney bound because it
Yeah.
and I think it still is at Disney World in California. The two do intertwine, but
Yeah.
it's not exclusive, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
People
yeah.
go and just do their own thing, but there is a lot of Disney bounders as well.
Cool. Just going on about the annual pass, I was just saying, what type of annual pass do you have at the moment?
I have the Infinity. Sorry, I had to think about it. It's a black card. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Infinity.
And do you think the benefits are worth it?
Let's say no. That's I you know what? Yes, I'm going to say yes because you know what, the photo pass is worth it.
Yeah.
Like this is my second year having the Infinity.
Yeah.
I for the last 5 or so years before that, I'd always gone for like the medium one
Yeah.
and just like bought because I think the medium one included left luggage, and that's a
Yeah.
big thing for me back then because I'd get the coach over for a day trip, so you'd need that. And then the baggage was taken off the medium one,
Yeah.
and it's all that sort of stuff. And like you get a 20% discount instead of a 15% discount in
Yeah.
shops and stuff. And I think that 5% definitely when you buy a bit too much at Disney does it
It
definitely
does help.
help, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I was just going to ask, what do you think about the current situation with annual passes? So obviously you can't buy a new one yourself if you
Yeah.
didn't have one. You can obviously renew. If yours runs out soon, are you going to wait to see what they do with the new ones, or are you just going to renew?
Thankfully, mine ran out in March.
Okay.
So when I was at the annual pass party, we renewed. And I'm so glad we renewed them because it's so uncertain. I have 2 trips planned in the next 4 months,
Yeah.
and we need um privilege tickets, which is the tickets we get at a discount for friends and family,
Yeah.
for different people in my party. And the fact we I don't know if you've looked at it recently, but you can't book after May for any privilege tickets, and it's the uncertainty of everything.
Yeah.
This is why I'm so glad that we renewed it back then, because I am so it is just uncertain of what's going to happen with the annual passes, how the way that they've worded it, uh, how abruptly they stopped the sales as well. I think one
Yeah.
night they just announced it and then that was it. And I
Yeah.
was looking on Facebook and stuff, and people are going, we were supposed to be coming next week, getting annual passes for the first time. And now, like, their full trip was sort of up in the air because they'd planned to get the annual pass,
Yeah.
and now they're going to have to find tickets and whatever. So yeah, I think this is a first year when I got my annual pass this year that I've gone, next year I'm going to get an annual pass. I always try and talk myself out of it because I'm
Yeah.
like, I want to travel more, I want to see other Disney parks and all that. And obviously having Paris means that you can do Paris so easy. Well, not
Yeah. Yeah.
easier than other parks. And
Yeah.
but this year was the first year I was like, yeah, next year I'm getting it. And then this comes up and you're like, Oh, I wish I hadn't said anything now. So
Yeah.
I am apprehensive to see what happens with the annual passes. I'm hoping it's soon though, because I don't like this.
No, I don't
Yeah.
like limbo. It's limbo,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And with regards to what we were saying earlier about the priority card and now the annual pass, when you were at the party, I heard there was rumours that the priority card access was not open for rides. Is that correct?
Oh, I don't actually know because I didn't try and get on any rides. So
Okay.
I can't help with that. So I'm sorry. Um,
No, it's
yeah,
fine.
we got there about 10 o'clock. So we spent what time we could doing the special things that was on. So like
Yeah,
meeting the characters and stuff. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to say.
fair enough. I was just going
Yeah,
to ask your opinion, but obviously
yeah,
not. That's fine.
no,
Um, okay, before we carry on with some of the questions, I want to ask the chat to join in as well. We're going to do a bit of a quiz. Okay,
oh,
so it's
okay,
based around some Disney questions. It can be park related, it doesn't have to be park related, but most of it is park related.
yeah,
So I want you to answer as quick as you can. If the chat gets it first, they get a point. If you get it
okay,
first, you get a point. Okay, are
yes,
you ready?
yes, I am. Yeah,
Okay, question one. What park is the approximate size of San Francisco?
Magic Kingdom.
The whole of Walt Disney World.
That was close.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you a point to that.
Thank
That's
you.
fine. I wonder if anyone in the chat will get that as well. Well, it's a bit scary, isn't it, really? Especially when you're live, you're like, oh,
Like,
really
I'm
testing your
I'm
Disney
sure it's
knowledge.
Florida. Yeah, I'm like, I'm sure it's Florida. I know it's like 47 miles long or something, but yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely Walt Disney World. Nick got it. Okay, right. Again,
Okay.
approximately, how many pounds does Spaceship Earth weigh? Difficult.
Like 10,000. No,
Think carefully. Pounds, and it's
pounds.
for Spaceship Earth. Approximately.
As in weight. Like we're talking weight of
How heavy? Yeah.
they're gonna get it in the chat first because they've got Google. I don't.
Oh, that's
Um,
true. No Googling, guys. I didn't think of that.
um, okay. I don't know what pounds is. Like I'm thinking how many me's, and I'm gonna say something like 200,000.
16 million.
Oh, I wasn't even close. Yeah, no, wouldn't have even guessed it.
So I'm not very good at maths, but I think your friend is right. Is that million? 100,000? No,
Uh,
I don't
I
know.
I should know. I work in accounts.
I
Like
Yeah, I don't know. So I'm appalling at maths. But if that's meant to say 15
15.
million,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well.
then that's the closest. Your friend is the
Yeah.
closest. Yeah, very,
Oh,
very heavy. Okay, question 3. Again,
yeah.
Spaceship Earth.
Okay.
How high in feet is Spaceship Earth?
I know this because they don't have to put the flag on top. They have to put a beacon on if it's up for a certain height. Feet.
And it's in feet.
I'm
I like
five
how
foot
you're using
two.
your hand.
I'm trying to think. I'm like 5'2". So if we're talking like, I'm gonna say 200.
Oh, close. Very
Is it like
close. Yep.
220?
No,
Oh.
Freemouski's got it. It's 180. So, chat, you get that point. Well done.
I'm just failing this. Sorry.
No, you're not at all. Okay. Why is Big Thunder Mountain different at Paris compared to any other Big Thunder Mountain?
Because it's the fastest. And it's on an
Uh,
island.
yep. And how do you connect to the island?
It goes in a tunnel under the water.
Hey, well done. You got it straight out. And the last question is,
Yeah.
in which shop can you hear people on the phone
In Paris.
in Paris?
It's not the one under the dentist.
All I know is the name
No.
of the shop.
I'm Flora's. I'm just taking a wild guess right now.
New Century Notions.
New Century. Oh, no, it's not the one I was thinking of. So
No.
yes, no.
And did you also know, just a random fact, that if you go into Harrington's, you know Harrington's, they've got the dome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if one person stood one side and the other person stood another side, and you whispered a conversation to each other, you would still be able to hear each other, no matter how busy it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
guess what I'm trying in June? I'm just going to stand there and I'm going to whisper something to you. You have to guess what it is. It should be a new trend on TikTok.
It should be, yeah. Guess what someone said. Someone's just holding up the phone. Maybe you should do that for your daily vlog.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, right. A few more questions before we finish,
Okay.
because today is going so fast. I can't believe the time already. Okay. What is top 5 tips for beginners and pros at Disney Bounding?
Okay, first off, go with characters that you enjoy, basically. Your first characters, always make them ones that you're massive fans of. Not only does it make it easier with accessories, you also bring the love for them characters into it with you. Don't class it as a competition. It's not. Do it because you love it. Do it because you want to show the love for the character. If you're doing it on park, look at your options of what is there a big area? So for example, studios at Disneyland Paris, you have the Ratatouille area, you have the Toy Story area, you have Avengers Campus. Avengers Campus is amazing because my Miss Marvel bound in January got so much love from the characters, and that was just a joy of a day. Like it was amazing. And that was because I went to park and was dressed in a character I enjoy and love. And there was a lot of other things, but that was one of the many reasons why that day was a joy to me, because I felt happy in what I was in. I look back at photos and I'm like, yes, like I was happy.
Good. 2 more.
Try not to buy like loads. You will always find something in your wardrobe that works. Like when you have to find something in your wardrobe that works, you will. And last one, just enjoy it, have fun. There is no right way to Disney Bound. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, that's the best tip, I think. I need to learn that. Before I ask you any more questions, chat, if you have any questions, please throw them Lou's way. Favorite park you've been to?
Oh, I think I have to. It has to be Disney. It has to be Disney. It has to be Disney. It has to be Paris. But Animal Kingdom is up there. But Disneyland Paris and Walt Disney Studios will forever be my. I call it my spiritual home because it feels like that. Like it. Yeah.
I know exactly how.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how would you rate the parks in Walt Disney World?
They're as in like favorite to least, or like that's. I'm going to be really controversial and say Magic Kingdom is probably bottom.
Interesting.
And that is purely because I spent a lot of time going Disneyland Paris. That to me is a comparison.
Yeah.
The one thing that sort of like Disney World do better is New Fantasyland and Jungle Cruise. But apart from that, but yeah. Oh no, now I will feel mean. No, we're gonna go Epcot bottom, Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. I've said it out loud now, so it has to be that. I will spend the next hour going, no, and moving it around. Animal Kingdom comes top. The rest of
Yeah.
them are on the same platter. I just had to put them in some order.
No, I'm exactly the same as you. Definitely
Yeah.
the same as you. And it turns out I loved Epcot much more than I was expecting. So
Ah,
yeah.
I do love Epcot. Figment. I love Figment, so I knew that I was going to like Epcot, but
Yeah.
I think we just got a bad day. It was just very, very hot, and as you know, there's no shelter, so
Yeah.
you sort of just like run in from one shop to the next, like
Yeah.
aircon.
Yeah. When it was raining, I was just like, oh,
That's
so
it.
good.
Whenever it rained, I was just like, thank you. Apart
Yeah.
from the night it started lightning, thundering while I was trying to carry McDonald's back, and I'm like, please just stop.
Yeah. I mean, like, I hate the cold as it is, but the fact that I was swimming while it was raining, I was like,
Oh,
and I'm fine. I was
yeah,
completely fine. Yeah, just
that's it.
casual. I need to move to America, basically.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever created a Disney Bound challenge yourself?
I sort of did for my birthday last year. And I didn't even turn up for that myself. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever done. Like a week before, I was like, I haven't done the challenge I said I was going to do. So let's do it. And then I think I only actually did 1 or 2 days myself, so it was a flop. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think I prefer it when other people do it, because if I
yeah,
do it, I'm like, okay, I have 10,000 themes in 4 days, so
yeah,
I just prefer somebody telling me what the theme is.
yeah. Awesome. Just before we continue, I've got a few more
Yeah.
questions left. Um,
Okay.
so I'm going to show you some people's favorites. So this is the order that Nick goes traveling. So she says Epcot, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, then Hollywood Studios.
Okay. Yes.
So that's
Oh,
someone's. Then we have Rand's Adventures, which is Adam. He says Animal Kingdom first, which is the
yeah.
best. I agree, and you agree.
Yeah.
Then we've got the studios, Epcot, and then Magic Kingdom. So it's
Okay. Yeah.
basically like what you were saying.
Yeah.
And then we've got Andy from Three Musketeers is Animal Kingdom is his favourite. So that's quite different to where
Yeah.
compared to what I've heard people say before. And
Yeah.
your friend has said Epcot only got drenched in that place. Is that true?
We we went back to change because somebody dropped a cupcake all over themselves. I'm just
Oh, I wonder who that person could be.
and we went back to the park and it was throwing it down. I think we went to the Italian for the Italian restaurant,
Yeah,
and by the time we got there, all of our clothes were wet. My shoes had puddles in them. It was torrential rain, and
yeah,
yeah, it was. We got drenched.
yeah. I decided to wear flip flops the whole time I was there because I knew that I would hate having wet feet. Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
Okay,
we
gone.
yeah. Oh no, we
Carry
took
on.
flip flops, but one night it was like, oh yeah, Converse will be fine. Yeah, no, there wasn't.
Okay, right. What are your new bounds? Have you got any new ones coming up?
Ooh, I have a trip next month, which we talked about. So we've got a few. I've got a few coming up then. I've got one at the end of this month for the Disney friendship thing in London, and then basically yes, there's a lot of. I have just started planning for the next 4 5 months
Oh wow.
of bounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get on top of it. We have California coming up in September, so there's a
Wow.
few new ones coming then. What I want to do, trying to narrow them down, is just I've got a list about 7, and it's like the longest ticket you can get is 5 days. So I'm like,
Yeah.
narrow it down. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's a lot of new bounds that I'm going to be doing. Yeah.
Exciting. Um, Tips for any photo opportunities in your bounds at the parks.
Oh, depends on who you're bounding as.
Okay.
That's all. Like at princesses, you've got. I'm gonna do Paris because I know that park better than
Yeah.
I do any others. So Paris, you've got the castle for princess photos. Peter Pan, you've got Skull Rock and the Hook Ship. Pirates of the Caribbean, you've got the big Pirates of the Caribbean sign. If you get it right, you can get under there. I'm trying to think of what else would. You've got Pocahontas's Village, which is
Yeah.
a niche. I know it's kids, but if you go early enough in the day, there's no kids there.
Yeah.
And I'm trying.
Where would you do Ariel?
Ariel. I do one at the castle.
Yeah.
One there, and then I'd possibly go and do one in Adventureland near the water. Definitely like where Skull Rock is, and
Yeah.
there's that bit that goes under the bridge. Do you
Yeah.
know the bridge? I'm trying to sort of like narrow it down myself, but there's a bit that goes right near the sand on the shore bit
Yes. Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Just there. Cool. Awesome. So you've been to Comic-Con. Quickly explain what Comic-Con is, and do you do your bounding there?
Yes, I do. I met Jodie Benson, who was the voice of Ariel last year, and obviously I did an Ariel bound for that. And Comic-Cons basically are events that run anywhere from a day to four. I think the longest is 4 days, unless you're in America where it's like 5. But 4 days, and you have stalls and actors, actresses, comic book artists, anybody who you could possibly think you would like to meet turns up, and you can meet them, photos, autographs, and there's a lot of people who cosplay, there's people who Disney bound, and it's just a good geeky fun for the weekend. I did 2 last month. I did Liverpool Comic Con, and I also did Star Wars Celebration. So it depends on what you do. Star Wars Celebration was majority Star Wars, whereas Liverpool Comic Con was a bit of everything. So yeah.
Awesome. And have you ever cosplayed?
Yes. I cosplayed at Liverpool last month as Wanda from Avengers. Sorry, trying to.
Okay.
I think it was she wears it in Edinburgh, and I think it's Endgame. Very niche. She's literally in it for like 10 seconds, but
Yeah.
it's But yeah, I've cosplayed her, cosplayed Black Widow, Natasha. When I met Tom Hiddleston a few years ago in her outfit from Captain America Winter Soldier. Sorry.
Yep.
So I've done a few, and back way when I used to do Twilight ones. That's what got me into cosplaying. So yeah.
Wow. And one final question. This is just from my knowledge. Who is this guy you keep sharing about on Instagram?
You do not know Pedro Pascal?
No.
What is this? You're like one of the only people who doesn't.
Okay.
He's just a guy who plays Mandalorian and a few other characters.
That's why I don't know then.
Love. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is. I think a lot of people will know he is the internet's boyfriend right now. Like, everyone's going mental over him.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been obsessed for about a year ago. I like binged his full IMDb page. Page.
Yeah.
So I was on this hype a year ago, but is over the past year he's just gained more popularity, and
okay, cool. Because I've tried to watch Mandalorian, I didn't get it, so I didn't really look into it or anything. So yeah, you're gonna have to teach me.
Yes,
you're gonna have to teach me. Yeah.
Yes,
it's my mission to do that now.
That's it. I'll just send you all the memes.
Yeah, exactly. I'll soon get used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming on my show. I've loved having you. Have you got anything you want to say extra, ask me or anything?
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun. And like I say, it's the first time I've done this, and thank you for having me.
No worries. And quick one question, actually. Nick says the shorts on the red carpet. What do you think of that?
Oh, I I, I, I didn't mean to stay up to watch the red carpet. However, I did. And as soon as I saw, because I saw him leave the hotel with the shorts on, I was like, I don't care. I am not falling asleep until I have a HD photo of this man in shorts. And yes, the legs. They know what they're doing. His PR team know what they're doing. There's a thing about his slutty knee, and they knew what they was doing by getting that knee out. So yeah. Sorry. It's just like,
okay.
I'm hoping people know what I'm on about.
I saw, well, obviously people do because I mentioned it in the chat, and I saw it on your stories. So yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. I've loved having you on my show, and I hope that you'd like to come back again one day. I'd love for you to
definitely,
do that.
yes.
Okay, so I'll sign you off, and I'll speak to you in a bit. And let me just quickly say to both of these guys.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
So thank you everyone who's joined in with the chat and watched the live streams and got the questions right on the quiz and playing along. I've loved seeing your questions for Lou, and I've loved seeing your discussions about the DAS pass and what your favorite parks are and favorite rides, and your guesses on how much weight there is on Spaceship Earth. I mean, 16 million pounds, like how, I can't even imagine that. I mean, obviously a Spaceship Earth, but yeah, can't imagine that. I hope that you enjoyed watching. Next week, I have another special guest, and she is in the chat. Her name is Nick Goes Traveling. So I'm looking forward to having her on. So go and check her out now. And obviously, Lou's links are in the chat now. And it's GreenUnicornPoop if you want to go and see her on Instagram or TikTok. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the Disney news as well. Let me know in comments or socials how you thought that went, because it was quite a new thing for me to do. And that's it. Take care. Good night, guys.